everyone, I'm Steve. Mark's around. Say hi, Mark.
Hi, everybody!
And this is Smokey Steve and Mark. Either welcome or welcome back, and happy Saturday. If you'd be so kind to please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you can find out when our new videos are coming out and also when we are going live. So, happy Saturday. I hope everybody's well, everybody's safe. It is the weekend, so we know what that means. Sugar-free hazelnut creamer. I think I like French vanilla better. And who knows what coffee, you just get whatever's in the store anymore. And, of course, an unfinished basement. So we're going to revisit our fair lady, Chantal Marie, Foodie Beauty, Big Beautiful Me. Now, I'm already touching my face. Can you see this? So, last week had so much hope. So much promise. And then, this week, we have a few mukbangs. Culminating in a bout of munchies from McDoubles. So...
What? Wait! What?
He's gonna be so mad.
What?
She went to McDonald's.
Ugh!
Not just McDonald's, she got enough food for, like, 2 people. At McDonald's. Now, she was high in her defense.
Okay, so that makes it okay.
To her.
Wait a minute. Wait, enough food for 2, so, like, I don't know, what, like, 2 burgers and fries?
3 McDoubles, a large fry, and some chicken nuggets. But she didn't get mac sauce for dipping. So...
I'm devastated. I'm so devastated. I had so much hope. I
predicted that it was possible she'd come back made up like Elvira and binge on camera. And she did.
You did predict
She wasn't
that.
indignant about it. But we'll get to that later. But she, you know, she kind of just acted like it was any other day. You know. And she said, I'm going to eat till I'm full. And she ate all but 4 french fries. So...
Alright.
But there's more to it than just what she ate, but...
Excuse my, insertion here, I'm sorry, but I was
Not
shocked.
at all. I'm still riveted, but...
I'm so devastated. I had so much hope. I was like, yeah, alright. Go ahead.
Alright?
Yeah,
You're
all
good?
I'm
Okay. You okay? You need to do some push-ups or something
I'm
to burn it
alright.
off?
I'm alright.
I'm so upset the camera looks crooked. Okay.
I'll
All
get
right.
on with it. I'm sorry I can't stay with you longer. I have an appointment.
Alright. Well, we'll be okay here.
Alright.
I took some notes about what you thought when I was watching them, so
Okay.
I'll be happy to share those.
Oh, yes, please do.
Okay, so where we left off last week, the walker was the big deal. She had got a new walker. And I guess through the grapevine, some other plus-size YouTubers who kind of run in the same circles or who get put in the same circles also had a walker. So there was that. There was her mental health confession. Pete's had one, not a confession, but it was brought to a lot of people's attention in a video that he wasn't doing well. And it had been suggested, pretty rightfully so, that while maybe she was struggling, a video was made because if anyone's going to get attention on her channel, it's her, not Pete's. And then she was talking about self-medicating, read binging, because that's how she self-medicates, and trying to get on track to go on this trip that she's going on to Dominican Republic or whatever. So that was the gist of last week. It ended on kind of a hopeful note. I was not optimistic, obviously. Well, cautiously optimistic. I don't expect her to succeed, but I'm there for it if it happens. Put it that way. So the first video this week was a long time after nothing. There was not a lot of videos for a period of time. And then there was a community post. Okay, we'll start with the community post. And there was only one, as far as I can see. So she wipes everything else pretty much clean that was on there. And unless she put up something new now... Oh, thank God she didn't, because... Okay. This was put up 5 days ago. It's a short one. Hey guys, I miss you. I will have a video for you guys soon. When I do, I will be uploading cooking and mukbanging videos, as well as some out and about vlogs here and there. I also have a plus-size try-on haul from Pennington's and Fashion a Curve coming soon. This fat girl will not be doing a weight loss journey publicly, and I will be sticking to this decision. And if that is the content you're here for and need to unsubscribe, I completely understand. See you soon, guys. Stay beezin'. So, as you can see, the direction's been changed back again. So, it's, interesting to me, she's brought this up before. She's mentioned not wanting to be bullied into making certain kind of content, and it's weight loss content. She says that she should be accepted no matter what kind of display she makes of herself on YouTube. As far as a monetary type thing, I've gone back and looked at some of her videos in terms of the number of views that she gets. And her weight loss type videos get an equal, if not slightly bit more views, as of late, than some of her mukbanging ones. I think it's possible, I'm not saying this is actually happening, that she gets more views, but the videos are more work. And she, by being bullied into making other kind of videos and doing another kind of journey, means I don't want to have to do something hard to make more money. I want to eat on camera and make that more money. So you guys need to stop watching those and watch these. I don't know. It's a far out there thing. But she is admittedly lazy. And this first video, Wild Wings Pizza Bang, kind of drives that point home. Incidentally, when she's binging, she just looks endlessly annoying. You know, the big bulbous face and her eyes are almost closed. And she's sitting on an exercise ball in this because it's good for your core. She's putting down, there's at least a half a dozen wings and a box of fries, something like that. So she tells a story about getting flipped off by a guy and getting called to see you next Tuesday. The breaks are starting early here. So she got flipped off by a guy while she was driving. She was going to merge and she was being kind of careless and cut the guy off. And then he passed her, gave her the finger, called her the C word. How unfortunate. And then she's setting up the mukbang. Now, I guess there is something, if you can call it an art, to setting up a spread for a mukbang so people can see everything. Her and Pete's are there and they have their boxes with the stuff in it. So you can see the box, but you can't see what's in it, and it's wings and fries. And they don't have any napkins either. Now, how hurried does it have to be that you can't take the time, put the food on a plate, leave the box so we all know where you got it from, find some paper towels somewhere, toilet paper, anything if you're going to be eating wings. Mukbangs are so low effort to begin with, and this was even less effort than that. So, I don't know. So, when it comes to, like I had said, making videos, I think it's possible that she's making the mukbang videos expecting to get as much or more revenue as maybe her weight loss videos. It seems to me, view-wise, they come out about the same. Sometimes the weight loss even make a few more views than some of the mukbang videos. I think that probably doesn't please her because those videos are a lot more work for her to do and actually engage, leave the house, go out and get some fresh air, do things, and these she can just sit in front of a camera and eat. And the mukbangs this week were particularly lazy as well. So, Pete gives her his last wing, which is very sweet. But I wish Pete would close his mouth when he chews the vegetables, because, I mean, this whole one was chomp, 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 slurp, 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 slurp. More so than other ones. I'm not picking on mukbangs. I know that's part of the gig, the slurping and the food noises and everything. But this was a little over the top. And Pizza's getting fat. Anyone else notice? Pizza's getting fat? He wasn't fat. He had a little Buddha belly. Just a little one. I mean, Pizza's not a four-season athlete. He never looked like one. But he's filling out a little bit. I can guess what he's doing off camera. So sitting on the exercise ball to working on her core. That'd be like if I came on to do guided breathing meditations and sat here and smoked while I did it. I mean, I can talk game, but if it looks stupid and makes no sense, then it is stupid and makes no sense. So Pete said the viewers are demanding me, and Chantal says, I know, weirdos. Oh, she doesn't like to share the spotlight. She doesn't like to not be the center of attention on her channel. So the next video was a road trip to, I can't pronounce it, Gibeus? Orange Julep. It's in Quebec. So she goes to Quebec, and she says Montreal, to get an orange julep. It's kind of like an orange Julius, I guess. A creamy orange beverage. I hate orange Julius. I don't like anything creamy and orange myself. Especially the mixture of like chocolate and orange, I really don't like. I like oranges. I don't mind orange flavored things. I do like Diet Sunkissed. Shout out to Big C. But I'm just not a big fan of creamy orange things. Or creamsicles, nothing like that. She also goes to get a poutine, and then makes a point of correcting people who say it wrong. I'm not Canadian. I don't speak French. All I know how to say in French is, I don't know how to speak French, and where's the bathroom? That's all I know how to say. However, I was able to bring an expert into this. I have exes. One of them is very successful, did immersion French. He's from Jersey, New Jersey. Was in Chicoutimi and did an immersion program. Then finished at University of Quebec à Montreal, and got his master's degree and actually teaches French as a second language to Canadians who speak English, something like that, and has been doing it for, oh god, a decade at this point. So on Messenger, he sent me the correct pronunciation, which was very nice of him. Now, I'm not telling you Chantal's right or wrong, or that I agree or disagree with her, because again, I don't know what's right. This was what was sent to me. I hope the volume's up loud enough.
Poutine. Poutine is a prostitute.
Just for clarification, if you pronounce it that way. So we'll do it one more time. Is it close to what she said? It sounds like Poutine. Like Etienne, which would be my name in French. Steven is Etienne in French.
Poutine.
And then,
Poutine is a prostitute.
so, thank you, dear, for your input. We appreciate it. So that's where I'll drop the Poutine thing. I don't know. I've heard things that, like, French Canadian is a little different, because as far as, I took linguistic anthropology in college, I think, like, the French came over and did their business in Canada in whatever century it was, and then they left. So while language evolved in France, it kind of got stuck in, like, whatever century the French conquered that part or settled that part of it. So it's a little backwards. I think instead of, like, mais oui, they say mais way. You know, kind of like in the northern parts of the United States, there's a certain kind of dialect, and then in the South it sounds a little different. So, so she's traveling and driving across provinces, and she goes into Quebec, and she gets a hot dog and a poutine, I guess, and an Orange Julius. And it's, you know, nice to take a road trip, I guess, and she said she was really hungry, and I think she ate everything. Then nothing for a couple days at all. And then I have the munchies McDoubles mukbang. So she is lit up. Had some no, not edibles. She took some pills, THC, which is legal in Canada. I'm not passing judgment on that. It's legal, it's recreational, and it makes you hungry. So I suspect anyone who is going to take those and gets the munchies will probably do that. It is a challenge for someone who has a hard time controlling their hunger to indulge in a recreational substance that induces hunger. Is it advisable? I don't know. I'm not sure what her eating disorder doctor would say about that, or the therapist that she may or may never see again, and hasn't seen yet, would say about that. My personal opinion is that once upon a time when I would smoke, it does increase hunger. I've taken psych meds that have increased my hunger. And it's difficult at, you know, midnight to not go into the fridge when you feel like you have a chemical-induced sense of hunger. It's very different than being organically hungry. There's no sense of fullness. It's just like Garfield and his lasagna. You know, you just keep going. So, as far as her weight control goes, she's not doing herself any favors. But again, her weight loss journey is going to be conducted offline at this point. So we don't know what she's doing off camera. Now, when she eclipses 400 pounds and cruised through the 390s, I can take a wild fucking guess what she's doing off camera as far as trying to control her weight. Is it a struggle? Probably. But she doesn't look like she's struggling putting down 3 McDoubles. You know, I wouldn't call that fighting the good fight. So, she had it delivered via Uber Eats. People do that. Large fry, 6-piece McNugget, and 3 McDoubles dipped in ketchup. I dip my McDoubles in ketchup too. I'm a ketchup fiend. I am on the lower end of the spectrum of white trash when it comes to putting ketchup on things. So, not mad at her for that. She's doing her setup, and she mentions a few times Nico Avocado. She's like, oh, I wish I could do it like him. Pick your heroes carefully. This is a lesson to all of us, okay? I don't like Nico Avocado. I don't like his content. I don't like his personality. I don't like his drama. I've said before, I think he's a stain on the rainbow flag. There's nothing redeeming about his content at all. Maybe outside of the YouTube world, he's a nice guy. I highly doubt it. I think he's probably drama all day. Texting all night, calling nonstop, crying, you know, and to hold that up as I want to be like him, I want to do what he does, the only thing he is popular. That's not much of a goal. When you look at why, it's really, really not much of a goal. But at any rate, this video isn't about him. So, she's kind of depressed and trying to move on with her life. There's going to be a small discussion about dating and online dating here. So, she doesn't want to really get back into the dating scene. too much because it's all online and she doesn't really know what's up anymore. And I can feel her on that. Like, online dating, I got away from before smartphones started. Like, I had already met Mark and was holding a torch for him before I got my first smartphone. So I wasn't playing on any of the dating apps or Plenty of Fish. Back in my day, we're talking like 15 to 20 years ago, there were no smartphones. Everyone had a computer. Some people had laptops. They were like $3,000 to get a good laptop back then. And there was like gay.com. There was Adam for Adam. And it depended. Some of the websites were for meeting people, and some were for having a good time. When the smartphones came out, you could find out how many feet away your next prospect could be. That blew my mind, and I think that's probably what she's encountering now if she allegedly hasn't been skulking around. Interestingly, she knew what Grindr was when she talked about apps. Grindr's a gay app. There's people that have met their husbands on Grindr, probably, but I don't know if that was their intention when they got there. Grindr tends to be for folks who are looking for a quick, good time. That was, my understanding of things. Tinder is the straight version. Is that the one where you swipe, swipe, swipe? I don't know much about what y'all do, but I think that's maybe what it is. So she goes on Craigslist, which we don't have personals ads in Craigslist in the United States. The Fight Online Sex Trafficking Act removed the personals ads, so we can't access those in the US, so we don't have them. But I do remember when we did have them, they were very interesting. There would be like missed connections, people you may have seen at the supermarket, you want to get their attention and you hope they look at Craigslist too. All sorts of things like BBW stuff, like what she talks about, trying to find someone who's into big, beautiful women, who are into plus-size women. And I had a very close girlfriend who was a BBW and would look for men that way as well. And she said the same thing Chantal says. It's just easier than having to meet someone and then try to explain to them that you're 400 pounds. Because people, like what they like. And it's sometimes a very niche group of people that are interested in very large women. So it's easier to find someone who already likes them off the bat. So, to that end, I can see that. When she says anything like this story starts with, I didn't tell you guys, it either means it's made up or it's a big exaggeration. That's usually what I'm thinking of, which is, I didn't tell you guys this. It means I'm lying. That's the impression I get. So, at any rate, she goes on to Craigslist, just looking for a hookup, And she says the guy has to be attractive if it's just a hookup. And I'm inclined to say the same thing. You don't really get to know too much of someone's personality when all you see is a picture. And sometimes they have XXX pictures on their profile, and they're just looking for a good time. So if you're the kind of person who casually encounters people, I would think physical attraction would have quite a bit to do with that. Unless you were just in it for the actual act itself, and you didn't care what was attached to the genitalia, I guess. So she starts giving advice to men. Don't send genital pics. Don't be too eager. It looks desperate if you respond to a message within an hour. As long as we're talking about desperate sex, can we bring up sleeping with homeless people? Because I think that falls into the line with things like that. In fact, if you think about it and reverse the gender roles, if any man bragged about sleeping with a homeless woman, you might have a discussion about being a sexual predator and taking advantage of a vulnerable individual. But we'll just leave that for another time. So, yeah, smacks of desperation to write back too quick. She said this guy she had to block eventually, and that does happen online, I think, because people get aggressive, people get like a one-track mind. When I used to try to screw around on those, like I said, like in the early 2000s, people get they hound you. They want to talk to you a lot, and they send you pictures a lot, and they send you messages in the middle of the night. And sometimes if you don't respond right away, they get agitated, very agitated. Maybe I just attract psychos. I don't know. I mean, it wouldn't be a surprise. Everyone needs love, right? It'd be my famous last words before they found me in the basement, poured into the concrete. So, she still misses BB, still infatuated, and her ring light is still there. Now, that ring light being there, I think, is more than just her ring light being there. Granted, she's lazy. She said she's lazy. But it's an excuse to go back to the apartment. She always has a reason. There's still a thin thread between her and BB if her stuff is still there. Once she goes and gets the last of her stuff, she really has no reason to go back over. And I could tell you her and BB weren't going to stay friends the way her and Pete's are friends. Why would they? You know, it seemed strained at the end. Why would you continue to hang out with someone who you had a strained relationship with? But as long as her equipment is there, she still has a reason to go over. And she still has a right to go over. So BB can't really refuse her. What would be best, probably, would be for BB to pack up her shit, drop it off on her front door, and go home. To his apartment, which is no longer theirs. Smoke number 2. So, she's been apparently waiting all day for this McDonald's binge that she's sitting down to, which kind of, like, she said she had the munchies, which makes me think, like, munchies in my head is a person gets high, or drunk, or whatever. I mean, have you seen drunk people at diners? They get the munchies too. They order way too much food, and then they fall on the floor and maybe throw up on their plate. So it's not the only substance that gets people a little hungry from time to time. But she was planning it all day. So that doesn't make it seem like she got high and then got the munchies and then ordered some food. This was like a whole planned out thing that she was going to do. She had all day to gear up for this. And, you know, it's something to look forward to. And I get having food as something to look forward to, and using food as a reward, and using food to comfort yourself, and as a treat, to celebrate an accomplishment, stuff like that. I don't know that any of that's happening for her. She just wants to eat because she wants to eat, and she's a fat woman on YouTube who doesn't have to eat a salad, and you don't own me, and don't food shame me, and don't body shame me, and don't sex shame me, and don't size shame me, and whatever. You're making your life a joke and you're putting it on YouTube. But, so, once we go, you know, beyond that, she's getting into talking about some random crap because she's high. So she's talking about animals, and when she's thinking about cravings. So, humans versus animals when it comes to cravings. She said a lot of people wouldn't sit down and chow down on a whole bunch of greens. And I'd be in that boat unless they were drowned in, like, ranch dressing. But elephants will graze all day. And think of how, you know, majestic and large they are. And they eat greens nonstop. Well, animals eat for survival. I don't know if they eat for pleasure. They may. You know, I think house pets can appreciate a nice little tasty treat of like a table scrap or something. But they eat to survive. They don't eat... It doesn't have entertainment value, I think, for them. Or recreational value. Or it's nothing that they, well, monetize. So I think their motives are a little bit different when we're coming into the animal kingdom and why they eat. And she says, you know, would an elephant still want that if they gave it a cheeseburger? Yeah, maybe she should break the pills in half next time. So she said she's probably doing things with Pete's over the weekend, and as far as her social life, she's just going to stay single. Oh, and she doesn't know if she's going on the trip. The story about this trip has changed a bunch of times. First, she was going to go, and it was a reason to get thin. Then, she wasn't sure if she was going to be able to go. Then, she was going to go fat and indignant and buy a first-class ticket, and it didn't matter. Then, she was going to get her cardiovascular endurance up, use a walker, eat better so she can go on the trip, and paid the second deposit to go. Now, you know, COVID. So, we'll see. She ate all but a few French fries, so she can justifiably tell herself she didn't finish all the food she ate. And, she thinks maybe it's not a bad idea to make videos when she's high and just eat a lot. So that's one way to go. So, are we surprised that there was a McDonald's mukbang? It was one of the things I thought could happen, that she would come back, I think I said, painted up like Elvira, and do a mukbang. She wasn't indignant during this. She kind of just kept with the spirit of, she didn't say, I know, guys, don't come for me, or it's my party and I'll eat if I want to, or any of that kind of stuff. She did eat a lot more in this than I've seen her eat in non-munchy mukbangs. But I think it's going to be the setup for another series of these. And then, like, the part of the cycle of hers that I like is over. The part where she's, like, contrite and trying hard, and, you know, I feel for her and I hope she does well. And this is the part where it's obnoxious, where it's annoying. Why do I watch? Because it's on TV. It's on YouTube. So, why not? I don't expect that this is going to change anytime soon. Because now that the trip can be canceled for some other reason than her being fat, she's out of it. She doesn't have to do it for that reason anymore. After the whole blown over-the-top diabetes scare, where she said she was going to have to go on a diabetic diet and go to a diabetes clinic, when in fact she just emailed her blood sugar results to her doctor, who said she was panicking and it was fine. Then she got to tell everyone, gaslit, that it was not a big deal and she doesn't know where they got that idea. So since she's not diabetic and doesn't have to go on a trip, she might as well eat herself into a wheelchair, I guess. I don't know. I'm a little more bitter this week, I suppose. Not that I feel let down, because it's not a surprise when someone who has food issues will overeat and make up any excuse under the sun for it. And I know, I don't need to make excuses. It's my life, it's not yours. If you don't like it, don't watch. What I do like is that she's swimming in issues that are things that I find interesting. Eating disorder, addiction, deception, social life, body politics, all these kind of things. She just runs in circles around all of these issues that I find interesting, that I find relevant, and she's a great example of how they play out or don't play out in a person's life. So for those reasons, and some others, and for a few giggles, I continue to watch Foodie Beauty. And so I'll continue to watch next week, and hopefully you'll show up and you'll watch next week too. So from Mark and I, thank you all for watching. Again, please do subscribe, hit the bell on the way out so you get the alerts, and the like button. You can follow Mark and I on Facebook at SmokeySteveAndMarc, or on Instagram at SmokeySteveAndMarc, and we're on the Twitter now. Our handle is at SmokeySteveA. There was no room for Mark. Our email address and contact info is all listed down below. Thank you again, and Mark and I will be going live tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. So if you get a chance, please do stop by and say hello. Have a good afternoon, and everyone be safe and be well. Bye.